The imposing courthouse stood as a monument to justice, its neoclassical columns and granite steps leading to massive wooden doors, where defendants accused of various felonies entered to face judgment. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across the polished marble floor of the courtroom, illuminating the ornate wooden panels and creating an atmosphere of solemn gravity appropriate for the felony trial in progress. The judge's bench loomed elevated at the front of the room, with the American flag and state flag flanking it on either side, while the witness stand sat empty, awaiting the next person to testify in this complex felony case. Dark mahogany railings separated the gallery from the proceedings, and rows of spectators sat in hushed anticipation as the prosecutor prepared to cross-examine the defendant charged with a serious felony that could result in decades of imprisonment. The defendant's attorney, a seasoned veteran of felony trials, leaned forward intently at the defense table, legal documents spread before him, his expression betraying no emotion, despite the gravity of the charges against his client. Behind the prosecution table, meticulously arranged evidence sat in labeled plastic containers, each item potentially crucial in proving the elements of the felony beyond reasonable doubt, including financial records that had been subpoenaed from multiple banks. A court reporter's fingers moved with remarkable dexterity across her stenotype machine, recording every word spoken during the felony proceedings for the official transcript that would later be scrutinized during any appeals process. In the jury box, 12 citizens of varying ages and backgrounds listened attentively as an expert witness explained forensic evidence related to the felony in technical terms that the prosecutor would later need to simplify in closing arguments. The defendant, dressed in a conservative suit rather than prison attire, appeared nervous yet composed while facing felony charges that threatened to transform his life into one defined by a prison identification number rather than his name. A police detective with 20 years of experience investigating felony cases sat rigid in the front row, mentally reviewing his testimony about the crime scene that he had meticulously documented, according to departmental protocols. The prosecutor rose with deliberate confidence, adjusting her glasses before approaching the witness with a document that allegedly proved the defendant's intent to commit the felony in question, her red folder containing additional evidence she would introduce strategically. The courtroom fell into absolute silence as she began questioning the witness about his knowledge of the defendant's activities on the night the felony was committed, her voice projecting clearly to every corner of the room. The bailiff stood vigilant near the judge, his watchful gaze scanning the courtroom for any disruptions while the critical testimony regarding the felony unfolded, his hand resting casually near his holstered service weapon. Outside the courthouse, journalists waited eagerly to report on the latest developments in this high-profile felony case that had captivated the public's attention through weeks of sensational media coverage and speculation about the verdict. Family members of both the victim and the accused sat on opposite sides of the courtroom, their faces reflecting the profound emotional toll that this felony case had exacted on their lives, each hoping for a resolution that would bring them some measure of peace.